Guys, let me tell you about Miss Tina. Miss Tina has been working online from home for over 30 years. She's never worked for someone else or never worked in a building. She's always worked online. Like, do you guys know that the internet may not even be but 30 years old? I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that. See, research is gonna be the foundation of your business. So somebody research that and drop it in the community and tell me how long the internet been around. But Tina Fletcher has been in this online world for over 30 years. She will be sharing the power of leveraging AI in your work, specifically by implementing efficient SOPs and templates to use Chat GPT for consistently high quality results. In her segment, we dive into how to streamline your content creation process, harness AI to save time and enhance productivity, all while ensuring you maintain your client's unique voice and branding. Virtual assistants, this will empower you to stay ahead of the game in this rapidly evolving industry. You are not going to want to miss her segment. So pay attention, get your notebooks, have your pen, take notes, and let's listen to Miss Tina Fletcher. Thank you, Miss Tina Fletcher. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, speaking to the ladies. And I'm excited because, for one, you got the juice on the AI, but you also got the secret sauce on branding. And I would like to hear about you, your business, and all that good stuff.
Lovely to be here. Well, I've been online for a long time. I've been online since online started. So I love being online. I've worked for myself from home since 20, 30 years now. So I've never actually worked in an office for anybody else. So this is where I am. This is where I'm in my happy place. And I'm so excited now that so many more people are realizing the true benefit of having your own business and working for yourself and the freedom that it can give you. Absolutely. When I talk about being online, I always talk about branding. If you ever come to any of my, videos, anything, I always talk about branding, brand yourself, but not in the way that you imagine branding it to be, where it's so sort of like, oh, it's only the logo and it's the colors. It's about how you personify yourself. It's how you see yourself. It's how your market sees you. It's how you connect with your audience. It's knowing who your audience is. If you don't know your audience, well, you can't create a brand. It's as simple as that. You cannot look after everybody. You have to pick who you want to look after. Sure, over time, you can look after everybody, but to start off with, pick a niche, pick a subset of people that you know you can serve and serve them well. And that's when I say get your brand sorted out. That is what I'm talking about. Knowing who your brand is. And then, yes, put all those beautiful colors on and the beautiful fonts and everything else. Absolutely, they're definitely needed. But first off, it's about who is your audience, who are you serving, and how can you serve them the best possible way. So that is what's really, really important. And if you can do that, especially as a VA, you will get so many more customers, because when you're speaking to an audience or you're out there giving a proposal or whatever, and you know who your audience is, it sounds really personal. It sounds like you're talking to that person, not, you've given them a cookie cutter proposal sheet, or you've said, oh, I can do, I want 5 people I can do social media for. No, you want 5 people who are this, this, and this that I can do social media for, because I know that I can help them create this thing. And it means it's so much more powerful. And it's so easy to fall back, because I've been there where you fall back into, oh, I can help everybody. Don't do it. You'll end up working 5 times harder and probably for 5 times less.
Yes.
Honestly, it will feel like at the beginning, you're going, oh, I'm not finding my clients, or I'm not finding my clients. Persevere, know who your audience is, know where to find them, and then go find them. So if your audience is, 35 to 55-year-olds, maybe even up to 65-year-olds, they're on Facebook. If they're a bit younger, they're on TikTok. Go and research this, know where to find them, That's where you market to. It's no use marketing to, 20-year-olds on Facebook, because you're not going to find probably as many as you think. Yes, you may find them in the business thing because they're on there for business. But if they're looking for a VA, they may not be on there looking for a VA. Connect where they want to be found. So you need to do your research, know your audience, and know where to find them. So that's what I say about branding. Branding's more than your colors. It's how you connect with your audience and how you engage with them. And if you can do that, you're set. So then I talk about AI. Now, AI has changed the game for so many people. No, big time. When it first came out, how I actually got onto AI was actually a really random way. I sold my agency. I've been mucking around for the last year and probably built 3 or 4 businesses, got bored, closed them down, sold bits of it off, mucked around. And then, it was really, really productive, good times. And then I realized that it was at a post by somebody, a mentor of mine that I respect greatly. And he put in there, oh, who's doing all this AI stuff? I'm going, what AI stuff? And he goes, oh, who's doing, this? And he had a list. And he had a list like email marketing, content creation, writing books, and all this. And I went, oh, yeah, a lot of people are going to say yes to that one. A lot of people are going to say yes to that one. Oh, what about writing books? Can I do it? So then I had to go and find out what AI tools he was talking about. It was ChatGPT. So I went over to ChatGPT, sat down, went through, did a bit of a play around with it, and I can definitely write a book in here. So I went back to his post and went, yeah, I write books with AI. I'm halfway through one right now. Little life. Then to follow up, I waited about a week and I hadn't heard back from him. And I thought he's probably got inundated with so many people. So I went back in. I probably did about 4 days later, because it was about a week when I sent it to him. And I actually wrote the whole book, the whole first draft, using AI.
Wow.
It means I come up with the idea. I knew what I was going to write on because I was writing on something that I knew about. But I always found that I had trouble sometimes getting all my words together. I kept going off on tangents. So that's why I'd never written a book before on something like this. And then I did an outline, and then I wrote all the content for each of the chapters. And I did this all in AI. And I got to what I class as my first draft. I then made it look pretty, put it into a Google Doc, put pretty pictures, blah, 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 and sent it off to him and said, look, this is not finished. This is a first draft, which has been fully done in AI. I'm now going to smooth it out, add my own personality in it, and some of my branding and all the rest of it. But I wanted to give you an idea of what you can do with AI. Within not very long, I don't think it would have been a couple of hours because it was early time zones, he jumped on and goes, oh my God, this is amazing. Can you come on a podcast? Now, of course, what am I going to say? Sure, no worries. So then I find out we're doing a podcast. I'm all right with that. I'm thinking, that's cool. The next, I do some more research into his podcast and realize it's a video podcast. So I actually also have to be on camera. Now the meltdown starting, oh my goodness, I'm on this podcast with somebody who's really professional. I don't think I had not done a podcast at all at that stage. So I didn't really even, let's dive into these things. So I went on and did the podcast, and we ended up talking about branding and the book, Branding Unplugged. And we talked about AI as well. And it was so much fun. And now I love doing things like that. Hence the reason I'm here. Because I think it's a great way for people to hear about what message you've got and talk about things that are important. And all of this stuff here that we're talking about is important. It's Absolutely. The foundation stuff that creates your business. So that's my summary.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And that's one amazing summary, because the branding element, that's what I push in my program. It's not just about your logos and stuff. And I'm so happy you came on here and said that, because that's a lot of where new VAs sometimes get troubled or go wrong. They want to serve everybody. And of course you will, so eventually, but to start generating that revenue, I feel, and it's been proven because you wrote a book about it, that you truly do have to know who you're talking to first, so that you can attract that person and make it personal. Wow, Tina, you have an amazing background and a lot of experience. That's what even better, that's even more valuable to this audience, because you've been through all the changes, and we know how the online space changed drastically from time to time. And now it seems like it's changing more frequently.
Daily.
You've been here since day one. So you are a person that if anyone have any questions, or they really could get a lot of value from you, especially with starting their business online, because this is your space. As I would say, no disrespect, you the real OG of this space.
That's lovely thing to say.
Well, thank you for your great interview and giving so much value. And I know it's going to help a lot of people and answer a lot of questions that new virtual assistants have, especially with branding. That, believe it or not, that will have a person held up for weeks, maybe even months, the branding part. So thank you so much for that. And we look forward to your talk during the summit. Thank you, Miss Tina.
You're welcome. I'm looking forward to it too.
So guys, wasn't Miss Tina great? In 30 years of working online, better yet, working in her own online business for 30 years. Wow, that is simply amazing. Guys, ChatGPT took the world by storm. It received 100 million users in just 2 months. They say it's the fastest growing consumer application in history. So, anytime something is created or launched, you just continue to make it better over time. Well, word has it that the next generation of AI is about to launch this summer. The Smart Investors Daily reported that no matter how cool ChatGPT is, it only generates content. This summer, the new AI promises to understand, use logic and reasoning, and learn to adapt to analyze and recommend. It's going to be much bigger. Actually, they said much, much bigger than ChatGPT. So let's move on to our next speaker, Zoe Dale. Zoe Dale, founder of the Spunky VA, is a tech VA. Zoe says she is a houseplant addict. She claims to speak ferns fluently, folks. But don't be fooled by her green thumb antics, because when it comes to the virtual realm, she's a tech VA extraordinaire for all the brilliant coaches and mentors out there. Zoe's mission? She's got your back when it comes to wrangling those pesky technical challenges and transforming them into seamless experiences. From building out courses to crafting irresistible funnels and websites, she'll guide her client through the virtual jungle, leading them to the ultimate finish line of success. So sit back, relax, and let Zoe work her magic. She's the tech-savvy wizard here to ensure that your virtual journey is as smooth and delightful as a stroll through a perfectly curated botanical garden. Give it up for Zoe, the queen of tech solutions and the guardian of your digital dreams. Listen to what Zoe got to say. She is going to give you one of the most important steps that you should do for the new VA. If you had anything to tell them that would benefit them on their journey and being new, what would that be?
Build your email list.
Absolutely. Yes. From the very beginning. Don't be like me. Please don't be like me, guys, from the very beginning, because that's your tribe. Those are your people. They connected with you for one reason or another. They liked something about you. So you just build that list. So tell us how to do that, Zoe.
Well, I just want to let you all know, because there's this mysterious thing about an email list that could sound intimidating or just kind of be out there. So really and truthfully, an email list is you get your leads from whether it's Google, your social media, whatever it is, and you collect their email, whether it's through like a freebie, you might do a workshop or webinar, and really and truthfully, you start nurturing people through their email. Social media is so distracting. and it's fickle. You now have only like 3 to 5 seconds to catch somebody's attention. But when you think about it, when you sit down and you go through the email in the morning, you take your time.
Yeah.
You read it through. You make deliberate decisions on, I'm going to sit down and read this, I'm going to take it in, or I'm not. And this is your opportunity to really show yourself to your client and really let them know what you can do for them without all the extra distractions and pretty graphics and videos and all those other things that social media has. The other part is that when you're new, there's a lot of pressure on trying to figure out, is this working? It is easier to track your stats when you do email marketing and when you have your email list, right? Like the most important thing is your open rate. If you know that people are opening your emails, you're like, I'm connecting with them, right? So that's like it's simple. It keeps things simple for you, especially when you're new. You don't have all the extra things. You don't have the bandwidth to take those things on. So, you need to zone in on what's important, zone in on making those connections, and make sure that you're refining your systems before you start attacking on all the extra stuff. And really and truthfully, you get to nurture that relationship with your leads to turn them into clients, right? You get to tell them about yourself. You get to show another side of your personality. You get to relate to them when you do that through email. So those are like some of the main reasons why I think building an email list is super beneficial when you're new, because you want to get out there and you want to have your unique stance out there.
Man, and that makes it much easier for that know, like, and trust factor. That right there. And you're right. I didn't think about it from that perspective. So you do take time reading your emails. So yeah, hone in on that message, and that open rate is in the beginning is pretty much the only thing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
When you start seeing them getting open, then you move to the next step. Okay, how many click-throughs? But hey, man, that's some good information. Email list, guys, email list. From the beginning, you don't have to go out and purchase or invest in the expensive software. Start with Google Sheet first until the money is in the bank. Then decide which platform you're going to invest in. There's so many out there. It can be distracting as well. There is so many out there, but you have to see what works for you, because what worked for one person may not work for you. Just how your business is set up. Well, Zoe, I'm going to ask you the question. If you had no following and no connections, what would you do to start your business and land a client in 30 days?
So I'm going to springboard what I was talking off of before,
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
No. So like I said, building your email list, you need to figure out what is your message. And I mean, like, don't get too hard on yourself, but figure out what it is that I really want to offer and what it is that I can help people with. And then use your email list to communicate that to persons. Have your lead. So I'm going to do it into 3 steps. Create a lead magnet. This is a sample of what you can do. This is a sample of the value you can provide. So whether it's a workbook, let's say your social media, let's say it is a quick guide to hashtags or a 5-step to figuring out your social media strategy workbook. And that is your lead in for persons to figure out what it is that you're doing and for you to collect their email. And then from there, you nurture that lead through your email list. And then you eventually, it's a process. So like, let's say you gave them that workbook on a quick strategy and your ending offer will then be through your email. Let's do a 60-minute consultation. And because you got my workbook, I'm going to give you 20% off. And you're making it irresistible. You are providing a quick solution. You've proven to your client already, you have the value. And then you're going to seal the deal with an offer at the end. And you're going to do all of that through your email.
Gave me some advice. Seriously. Seriously. Wow, that is amazing. So technically, you would just start with building your email list. I think that's some great information and some great value, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, it's not taught enough in different programs how important an email list is from the very beginning. You don't have to have a huge following to start an email list, because we're looking into the future. This is your perspective. You're going to grow. And as long as you're doing the work, you're definitely going to grow. So building that email list from the very beginning is going to be key for all of you.
I want to give a little bonus tip to our audience, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
When you're starting your email list, and you might feel intimidated to put out to social media and stuff like that. So look at who you know. Look at who is in your community. Start putting together a list of persons, whether it's family members that own businesses, friends of friends, persons in the neighborhood. Or even, I wonder if people still have phone books in their house, but pull out that phone book and see who's in your area and start putting together like, this person, this company seems to be, or this small business seems to fit into what my ideal client is, and start your list from there. Start messaging them, hey, this is me, this is my business, this is what I'm about, and start building it from there. Let people know about you.
Absolutely. That's one of the main things I share in my programs. I'm like, ladies, let people know. You never know who. Just because you think, you cannot go off of assumption in this industry. You just can't. You don't know who. Just because you think, oh, Sally don't have no business, but you know Sally know. She may know a couple business owners. They know some business owners. So yes, it is definitely important to shout from the rooftop. Letting people know what you do is essential and important. And starting in your community, that's a big one. We get intimidated as new virtual assistants, and sometimes we have the blinders on and we're not thinking because we're online. But you could still benefit small businesses in your community online. What better way to start than in your community? They already somewhat know you. It might be easier for you to, land the client. Let them
capitalize on your connections.
Absolutely. Wow. So is there anything else that you feel you want to give? I know you gave the bonus. I'm trying to get a little more out of Zoe for you guys. Is there anything else that you feel would be beneficial for our new virtual assistants?
So one of the things I would have touched on a bit that I didn't quite give a name was, building that pathway for persons for you to niche them and get them that last offer. So every month I run a 5-day challenge where I get you off your butt and putting your funnel together. What is your freebie? What is your email funnel is going to look like? And what is that end offer? Right? And we're going to get you ready in 5 days. Right? It's going to be intense, but I got you. Right? So I want you all to look out, get onto that bonus so you could get on my email list. So you'll have the heads up when the next 5-day challenges are around. Maybe you might get a little discount.
Oh, absolutely. Hey guys, Zoe is offering to be your accountability partner for 5 days. And I'm telling you, we need accountability partners as VA, especially starting out. But to be able to get with someone who has experience and know the industry, you guys reach out to Zoe. I definitely would if I was first starting, because she's going to get your butt in gear, help you to start landing them clients. Wow, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I was excited for this interview, but thank you. And we look forward to seeing more from you. And we're going to be pushing that 5-day challenge for you as well. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye, guys.
Zoe is absolutely amazing and have a great personality. It is so important to embrace who you are and let that come out in your brand. That's what sets you apart from the rest of the virtual assistants.